バカみたい子供なのね夢を追って傷ついて嘘が下手なくせに笑えない笑顔を見せた I love you もろくに言わない口下手でほんまに不器用なのにどうしてさよならは言えたのダメだねダメよダメなのよあんたが好きすぎてどれだけ強いお酒でも歪まない思い出がバカみたい
Hello everyone, my name is Notepad and I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? Well, today we are obviously going to DUWANG, which means that we're gonna look at horse girls and we're going to translate the game of horse girls. I lost the plot of my life a long time ago when why is there Manly, no. That's the new horse girl. We needed a co-host, Manly. We needed a good co-host. So cause she's a horse, Manly. Manly, you can't have this rampant racism. She's a beautiful American horse. Yeah. Yeah, but this is an American horse. The ones we're dealing with are Japanese horses. Very different, Manly. Very different. You know, noble, white Aryan horses. Glorious Japanese horses. You know how it goes. Someone cue arigato. Oh, jeez. Look, I understand changing me for a horse girl, but for a minority? Manly! You're already a minority. You're Russian. Have no fear, everyone. Yeah, this is a great start. 4 minutes in. I'm already... Are there even German Scandinavian horses? I mean, I assume so. I mean, Iceland... Iceland actually has quite a few horses. In fact, that was actually a very big thing in the Icelandic economy for a very long time, was horses. Fun fact. But yes, we're going to translate some more today. As you can see, Manly's being very productive as always. Again, 5,000 note coin in YouTube. We can replace our horse girl with a real horse. Photorealistic horses for 5,000 note coin, everybody. That's just how it goes. But we are unfortunately not Vosh Gaming today. We are instead going to be DUWANGing. Now, I did do a little bit of work beforehand. Now, these are, if you kind of see here, these are all of the side notes in various degrees. I just needed to have those put up there somewhere. Kind of did a lot of things like this, just a lot of little things to be like, fill in your areas of expertise, fill in your level, fill in your personalities, setting up your relationships, things like that. As you can kind of see here, most everything was pretty simple to kind of go over. We are already at currently 44 pages. One of the interesting things I noticed was this right here. These were the skill lists. I finally kind of got a chance to go over what makes a skill. I actually got a chance to finally go over that. Like, I mean, genetically distinct. Oh no. The Argentinian is talking about genetic distinctions. Oh no. In the Spaniard, white, Chinese, Mongolian, red, and Italian, black. Wouldn't be surprised if there are some obscure horse lore. Where's Sang or Vosh? What did I miss? Also, what's this card situation about now? Yes, actually, that was going to be what we were going to talk about just now. These are the generic skills. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit so everyone can see it. You get to see these ones like right here, like runaway, forward spurt, sudden spurt, a feed. Yeah, it kept saying spurt, spurt, a feed. I will maybe change the name on those slightly. It's things like, hey, if you're in the front position, you get a 1d6. If you're forward position, d6. Behind, d6. Last, d6. Pretty simple. Then we hit prodigy here. You kind of see prodigy. Can be used when a skill card is drawn. Immediately draw another skill card and choose one of them to discard. At this time, you cannot discard a card in your hand as a substitute. If I'm correct, this can be used during the scenario phase. And during the scenario phase, when you're setting things up, because you're always going to, if I'm remembering how it would be, primarily it would be how Beginning Idol and some of the other games like that handle it. If I'm doing my internal mathematics correct. What's happening here is, because in Beginning Idol, what you'd have to do is during the idle phase, is you would actually get skills. You would have to play through a scenario, and you would get, and if you succeeded, you'd get certain skills. And that would be the entire idea, is that you pretty much build up your repertoire of skills for that episode. This is the same idea. You need these cards, and they are randomized. Like, that's actually a fairly important idea, is that they are randomized skills that you will get. You do not know what you will get. And it's like, oh shit. And it's like, that's... Also, Crit Roll released a new game. We're TCG, TTRPG, board game hybrid. We know the actual TRPG is still in development, but Till Last Grasp is the new thing. Oh, that sounds horrifying. I'll look at that in a second. But yeah, generally speaking, I do believe we're going to need the card. Like, the cards are going to be essential. What I will most likely do is, most likely, because I am a sane and rational individual, I will probably have to write a thing when we're compiling. I'll probably write a thing being like, okay, I understand that like getting these cards is kind of a crapshoot if you want to play physically. We're not going to worry about that. What we're going to do is you're going to roll a die, or you're going to roll a set of die or something, and that's how you're going to determine how you're going to get your card effectively. If only to make my life easier. Technically, what you could do is, if you were playing technically, if you are playing an original character, this is all for an original character or originals, you have to choose one of these generic skills as your primary skill, because every single one of the other horse girls have their unique skill. You only have one of these 12 as your special skill, which only you can have. Only you can get Runaway. Only you can get Sudden Spurt of Speed or Tailgating Spurt, which we will change. Or my personal favorite, Ume Mizume, the Stormbreaker. It's a really, really specific one, and I kind of dig it. Yeah, most of these worked pretty well. There's some which are a little bit wonky, like Pride of a Distinguished Family. But Pride of a Distinguished Family is a little bit unique because it just gives you +3 across all of your attributes. You pretty much just go way bigger and insane. Which I thought was kind of cool. It's neat. At this point, I think you deserve the Yakuza. Still broke. I said if you need help making cards, I can show you how to streamline it in Publisher. Yeah, it's generally speaking, it shouldn't be too. The cards are going to have to be legitimately an entire day. I'm here. Are we gambling? We are not gambling on horse girls. It is official anyway. I'll have you know, Archer. It is official canon. I'm bash the microphone. Official canon that they are not bet on. As high school girls anyway. Anything older than that, it's a crapshoot. Detailed lore, everybody. And somebody brought up Till Last Gasp. So yeah, somebody brought up Critical Role has a new thing apparently. Let's look up Till Last Gasp. I saw this. Yeah, this is Darrington Press. Dramatic 2-player game. Dramatic storytelling duels. Till the Last Gasp. Coming March 14th, 2023. So today. Genres and settings. This game allows you straight into 2-player PvP action as blows are exchanged, emotions are betrayed, and secrets revealed, and stakes raised. By Will, by Lex Roberts. Wait. For the Queen. Yeah, I almost got a little bit like, oh, cool. Yeah, Darrington Press guild stores, guild Critical Role shops. Yeah, we'll have exclusive pre-made characters from the Critical Role Vox Machina campaign, because that shit keeps paying money. Yeah, looks like it's like a board card game thing. It's a board card game thing. Let's see. Yeah. That name sounds familiar. I'm gonna do it. This name sounds very familiar in a bad. This is $40, by the way. Fuck. Alex Roberts sound familiar. A lot of Austin Taylor here. Oh, that looks cool. Like, I have nothing literally to say. I should watch it for the lols. I mean, thing is, like, Pretty Derby is actually like a really well put together sports anime. I will say that, like, it's like, yeah, the premise is a little bit ridiculous, but it's like, it's literally just it's just literally a racing. It's a racing anime. It's a sports anime, except they just are horse girls and they have a live at the end. We don't question it, except the last episode of the first season. That got a little weird. But hey, it happens. It is what it is. But yes, we're going to be doing the rule part, act judgment, basic rule, which I did this right before stream. The goal of this game is to have a good time with the game master and the players. If you stick too much to the victory or the result of the climax, you may lose your fun time. So please be careful. Generally speaking, don't be a little baby bitch. That's what they're trying to say. Don't be a bitch about things. But we're going to be doing our best. We are right here. So obviously, let's get down to business. To defeat the Huns. Did they send me Darth Traitors when I asked for sons? This. assuming this is the game master. Please do whatever the fuck you feel like if you think that it's going to make the game better. My favorite rule. This is the rule 0, effectively. Let me guess. This is a game master's prerogative. Yep. Okay, I can understand that. Game master's prerogative. Fucking can't speak today. Yeah. Game master. How they've been writing it. I will say that during compilation, this is going to be... Compilation's going to be not hard, it's just going to be very awkward in some cases. Because I just have to clean up a lot of wording. Let's see, Fighting Spirit. I made a call early on. We are not calling this Fighting Spirit. We are instead calling this Ki. Ki, because it's the same fucking thing. Okay, so let's see, so... And if you may be wondering, wait a second, is that a fucking Tenra Bancho Zero reference? No, it's not, but good eye. Same word, different context. Good old Fighting Spirit. The main ability value used in this game is Ki. The Ki's express the value to combine all the states of the horse girl, not only her feelings, but her physical condition, we're up to that section a little bit. Ki starts at 1. During the game, the temperament gradually increases to a maximum value of 15. Listed to the Umemuzume. Ki is closely related to the Umemuzume judgment, described below, the best value of 10 in order to make the decision most favorable. That is true. If you kind of see over here, you're going to be rolling optimally at 10. You do drop off pretty hard if you do start going over that. You kind of see over here, this is 46 minus 2, 46 minus 1. While all the way, it's... Yeah, so 5 up, you've already dropped 2s, but if you go 3 up, you're still pretty consistent. So you want to stick around 10, alright. Control yourself in the best Ki state for the most important decision. So I am. So you effectively need to be in the best headspace to do things. That's understandable. So do this again, just to. Precision victory, controlling the best Ki stand on time of being for the most important judgment. Gotta keep consistent for myself later on. Oh, we've got manly co-hosts. Sorry, horse girl, but you are the false host. Of course, we've got our favorite. We've got our favorite horse girl. I think we should write Clay's Umemuzume like how K-On is associated with certain Austrians nowadays. Rule 0, make the game fun. Horse girl, true fetch white whistle. You are now my enemy, said Annabelle. TBZ being like trading PRP downslice for raw power is great idea. Did you guess did Manly would hate it, or was it a coincidence? I did show him this previously. I showed it to him after he wished death upon me and my family for showing him the first horse girl, Manly. So I improved it and simply made the ultimate chimera. I, for one, love my little horse ball. I didn't realize Manly's name was Manly. Yeah, it's Manly. first horse girl I saw in your chat. It was terrific. What was the first horse girl? It's the original horse manly. Horse orb. Spherical. Was it the one about the game where the girl turns into a horse? Very different. Yeah, I remember the first horseman. Yeah, I'm sorry. Manly. I would say that I'm like, oh man, I'm really sorry that that people meme on you so much now for you or for this, but I'm not really sorry at all. I find it hysterical personally. This is nothing but pure comedy value for me. Does that make me a bad person? Maybe. Does it make me a funny person? Da 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 da. Okay, in this game, when a character performs an action that may or may not succeed, a process called ume-mizume judgment is performed. When the word judgment is simply used, it also refers to the ume-mizume judgment. I like it how you have to put in the ume-mizume judgment. The ume-mizume judgment, not just judgment. Variously overcome judgment, called variously overcome judgment, start judgment, decision judgment, depending on the situation. These are all the same, just in different situations, and all refer to the ume-mizume judgment value. All will be ume-mizume. That's something that I think we all... You may not like it, but we all will become horse girls at the end of the day. Maybe the real friends were the horse girls we made along the way. And in case you're wondering, wow, Notepad, this kind of reads like ass. And the answer is, yeah, it does. I need to clean it up later when we do the compilation. That's one thing you always got to remember. Like, this is just me getting the words on paper. I always feel that's one of the more important aspects of things like this. Edge. How do we want to do? We're gonna do you all at once, just because I can do that. The there's 4. Okay. Let's see. For those wondering what the hell I'm doing, is I gotta set everything up correctly in Sakura. And when everything is set up correctly in Sakura, then I can transfer everything over. Because the vast majority of the time what happens is, the way this is laid out, this is not laid out correctly. Well, it is laid out correctly, just incorrectly. And don't think about it too hard. Because what happens is, because it is in this format, it's reading it as there's line breaks, where technically there isn't a line break. Let's see, I want the jar people. Sadly, it isn't an option. No jarring. How would you make a crossover game between this and Horse Girl? You don't. You don't do that, because this actually seems relatively interesting. I don't know yet, really. Horse Girl sounds like agony. Fun fact, when saying in Russian for theoretical things an extremely low chance of happening, it's spherical horse in a vacuum. The horse orb is real. The horse orb is real! Horse girl check. Great. We are calling it the Ume Mizume check, thank you very much, not the horse girl check. Last Gas has a built-in X card. It's not even full TRPG. How the fuck? Also, fuck X cards. If you play RPGs, you can't tell your group, hey guys, I'm uncomfortable, or if this is stupid, please stop and don't bring that up again. You're a cuck and should lay in a ditch. Yeah, because I said I wasn't okay with them trying to kill me for no apparent reason every turn. Yeah, it's like one of those things, like, if you're not horse girl judgment. Damn straight. This great one's funny Twitter people audience, and you include X card and everything. Let's Twitter put the funny ghost mark on light Matt Mercer's lawn on fire. Wow. Breaking the law, breaking the world. But yeah, no, it's one of those amusing things with X cards, where I think at this point it's somewhat of a I don't know what the correct word would be for it. It's effectively, it's almost a prisoner's dilemma at this point, being like, you have to put it in because you're punished if you don't put it in. It's not a prisoner's dilemma. I know that's not the right word for it, because it's pretty much like you have to put it in because if you don't put it in, you're punished more for it, even though it serves no purpose. It's not about serving a purpose. It's about just being there. That's what I think a vast majority of these things are. It's not necessarily for this being like, oh, this is an essential like mechanic, like this is an essential thing. It's this needs to be here because if it's not, someone's gonna get pissed on Twitter. And to a lot of these guys, that is pretty fucking bad. The Ume Mizume judgment process. Alright, everybody, are you ready for the Ume Mizume judgment process? One, reference to the judgment value from the current value of Kia. Reference the judgment value from current value of Kia. Judgment value of the Ume Mizume judgment. Judgment is determined by the current character's current Kia. I use Ume Mizume. They're going to keep making me do judgment value that is on the same line as the current Kia value. Alright, easy enough to understand. Okay, we're getting it. We're balling. Check the target value. Target value of the judgment. In some cases, such as the overcoming judgment, the required target value is known, while others, such as suddenly settling judgment, target value may vary depending on the other character. Okay, easy enough to get. I'm getting it. Where's the? I'm waiting for that part. I hope you all know that I'm waiting for the. Decide whether to increase your key. Each time you make a single judgment, you can increase your ki yourself by yourself. Each time you make a single judgment, you can increase the current value of your ki yourself. The value can be raised or lowered depending on your motivation. You'll use the determined value of a ki after it's been raised for the judgment. So that's odd. Let's double check that. I'm feeling something. You can raise your current value of ki by yourself every time you make a decision 1 degree. The number that can rise will go up and down depending on your motivation. Decision value of the spirit after the rise will be decision. The judgment value. It looks like you can push yourself to go a little bit harder if you want. I have a feeling we're going to get a more explanation on that earlier. That's something we're going to have to keep going back on. Roll the dice. I'm going to be amazed if roll the dice with what they could possibly mean in this situation. Come on, tell me what's up. Roll modified value is called the achieved value. If the achieved value is greater than or equal to the target value in 2, the judgment is a success. If it's less than the target value, the judgment is a. All right, easy enough to understand. The action decision, the action judgment, thus determines success and failure. Okay, so it's check this, check the target value, whether or not you even know it. Then you can choose to raise it or lower it, depending on your motivation. I'm looking at the motivation here, because this is the motivation chart. I'm assuming that if I want to be a, that might be the amount you can actually raise it. So if your motivation is super high, and when you say, okay, I want to raise my ki, I want to raise my ki a little bit, because suddenly if you're really high, if you're really motivated, you might overshoot and you start going into like the 12 territory and you can't really reduce it. But I'm also assuming that maybe that's like how far you can reduce it as well. Like it goes in either direction. So it's like, oh, let's say I'm at like 6. I can say, okay, I want to raise it by 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm at 9 now. But if I get another one going 1, 2, 3, I don't want to hit 12. That's kind of the thing. I don't want to go to 12, obviously, because 12 is kind of my danger zone. Where's the part where you level up the horse girls by doing sexual acts? No, bad. Bad. At this point, because they're someone's fetish and we just aren't weird enough to realize. Honestly, people getting pissed on Twitter because of lack of built-in X-card rules, free marketing, damn straight. The only valid thing with X-card is you don't want the X-card to be valid. It's over. See, the thing is with the X-cards, the thing is with the X-cards and such like that, is by the time you ever need an X-card, by the millisecond you need it, the problem is when you do need an X-card, it's already over. It's happening. You cannot stop it. There is no dreams anymore. It's Jover, and you just kind of got to go along for the ride at that point. Or you get someone who jumps the gun on it too much, where it's like anything that goes on is like it's Jover kind of thing. Like VTM ERP with low level BSM community, it's literally a fetish that perpetuated into assumed mechanic. RPG has fallen, millions must write. Doesn't make it a fetish, like stop word is a fetish. It's already over. Well, the thing is, yeah, like enabling that guy, GMs go even more into that guy because X cards exist. Not really. Like, here's the best way to think about it. Is let's think about it like this. The presence of an X card is a fundamentally flawed idea. It's the fundamentally flawed concept of the X card is pretty simple. By the second that it's already happening, it's already over. Like, that's kind of the issue with X cards. Like, if it's already happening, it's already kind of over in that way. And it's like, oh, well, you can't really stop it. Because one of the big things is... And arguably, that's like a big thing in that community as well, which is if something's going on, it's already kind of happening, and it's not nobody really it's already over kind of thing. Yeah, Adam Koebel. Adam Koebel. That's what I mean by that, actually. It's... the presence of it does not actually help anybody. That's one of the big issues. That's my opinion on the matter. Where it's... what the entire idea is, man, this is getting kind of weird. X card, go away. Understandable. Makes complete sense. There's a little thing that you can say, please do not... let's not do this anymore. Like, you're being weird. And the thing is, if you go in that idea, so you've already got that idea, because they had the X card, they had all these things, and no one did anything. Because there's this weird piece of, I would almost call it train wreck fascination. Or car accident fascination, where everybody kind of just wants to see where it goes because it's horrifying, and you're just like, I gotta know. Because the thing is, it wasn't just one person there. You gotta remember, this wasn't like a one-on-one thing, that it was like a really private bit that no one else could really hear. Like, no, there were other people in the group, no less. There were producers, no less. There were people, there were moderators, there were people watching the show that were clearly there. And nobody did a goddamn thing. Oh, what did Adam Koebel do? Okay, Agent J. Okay, I'm going to give a brief explanation of what Adam Koebel did. Little background on Adam Koebel. Adam Koebel was one of the main writers, I believe anyway, behind Dungeon World, and was a very big part of that community, and very big part of the indie sphere. He ended up being a regular, and I don't think he was like officially hired on or anything, but he was a regular on the roleplay show. I would say probably the other big one, the other big actual play podcast by It Time JP, not a lot more traditional actual play than kind of like the insanely high production values of Critical Role or something like that. But it was the kind of the first one to be a big one, and he was doing a game called Far Verona. Far Verona was a sci-fi thing. And okay, and it was a sci-fi thing, and there was a big bar fight. If I recall correctly, it was a bar fight. I think they were playing Starfinder. And big space bar fight, and one of the characters got injured, and she was a robot. So a robot doctor was like, "Hey, I'll patch you up. Don't worry." Adam Koebel then proceeds to go into weirdly graphic detail. Like, weirdly graphic detail of this robo-doctor doing naughty things. Because he's a robot fetishist as well. And clearly... and like, oh, you robo-orgasm, the tier. The player wasn't in on this. This was live streamed, by the way. This was live streamed in front of a full audience. The player did not know what was going on. Nobody else in the entire area knew what was going on. And it was over. And it was clearly a clear violation of trust for a goofy situation. It was supposed to be like he was trying to play it off as like it was supposed to be funny. Like the doctor was like a weird dude and he was trying to be funny about it. It wasn't funny. Because then it comes out later like, oh, well, that was really uncomfortable, that was really weird. It came out later like, oh, hey, you can probably find it. I wouldn't be surprised if you can find it on YouTube still. They try to scrub it, but you can't get rid of something like that. Wouldn't it be funny if I stuck my USB in your port? Yeah, shit like that. And the thing with it was that it was clearly this was the thing that kind of like blew up, like role plays actually doesn't exist anymore because of that. Because she was like, oh, we pre-planned the entire session. Like, we pre-planned everything, and he completely went off the rails with it, and nobody knew what to do. And it's like, oh no, like, what the fuck? It was really weird, and it was really uncomfortable, because I did listen to it, I did watch it, it's been a while, and it was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And that was like my affirmation that like shit like the X card, shit like the lines and veils, any of those safety tools do not do jack shit. Because the exact moment to prove that they do work, the exact situation with the exact people to prove that this does work, and it failed spectacularly. Now, it might work for other groups and things like that, but that's why I say, like, X cards are fine for pickup games. You don't know this person. It's a con. You don't know this person. You don't know what they're like. You don't know anything about them. Fine, cool, pass out the X cards. Okay, we're playing, we're having fun. You don't know these people. It's an adventure league game and you've never seen these people before. Understandable, that's fine. That's really, I think, the only valuable use for when you have absolutely no idea who these people are. And the thing is, if it was with a group of people that you know, and if it's like a group of people that you are friends with or at least have like association with, bringing out the X card is like this weird thing, you know. So the thing is, you know, as Manly put, the thing is, how I see it, the X card only makes the weird thing situation worse in hobby game, because having an X card gives a green light to the weird hags to do weird stuff, because, oh hey, they'll use the card if it goes too far for them. The thing is, having such cards shown to you as a stop sign is much less hard on you than hearing, John, you're an inbred and you are now 4 foot from my house. No X card means you don't quite know where the line of weird is, and people will talk like you and you're a weird inbred and you don't want the RP or weird fetish. Yeah, the thing is, either there's two situations with the X card. Either one, you pull it too early and everybody thinks you're the problem. And this is it's this weird, it's a weird game where everybody has to hold a revolver to their head and nobody knows if they have an amp, if it's loaded. Everyone's playing fucking Russian roulette with themselves. And you pull it too late. You know, you pull it too early, and now you're the weird one. You've made it weird. Like, oh. Like, oh, you've ruined the vibe. You've ruined the mood. Like, because you pulled it too early. Everyone else was fine with it, and you had to ruin it. Or you pull it too late, where it's like, okay, it's already happened. You can't stop it. It's Jover. Like, there's no going back. I think that's the issue with it. And with like, oh, and all these other things where it's like, by the presence of it, you've managed to make it stranger by its association. And there is social pressure behind these things. Let's not kid ourselves here. You know, when presented with a situation, let's say we present ourselves with a situation, GM has kind of gone a little bit, you know, his power level is showing a little bit. Every single one of us wants to hit the X card. We all look at each other. We're all a little bit weirded out. Nobody wants to press the card, though. No one wants to put that card forward. Because everyone's waiting for the other person to do it, so they're not the weird one. well, these guys, because you're looking at it being like, okay, they're not pulling it, so they must be okay with it, and I don't want to be the weird one out, right? And the other guy's like, I'm gonna do it any minute now, but I want to make sure somebody else is doing it. It's this weird dilemma that you can't really get out of. I would say over the years, we've shifted to lines and veils. If I remember correctly, there's the X card, N card, O card. I'm trying to remember at the top of my fucking head. The consent worksheet, which is hilarious. What am I? Lines and veils. Lines and veils is one you see a lot. What other ones are there? I know there are. It's there was one which is like it's fucking patty cake or some bullshit like that. That's shit, what was it? I can't remember what it was. But there's been a handful of them now. And they all kind of run into the same issue, being like, yeah, you aren't gonna stop the infinite, like, the vast majority of this stuff is like, you can just talk to other human beings like this. Like, you've already kind of established, like, hey, we don't want this, we don't want this. And there's the social pressure to not be weird as well, to not be the weird one out. And it's like, oh, well, you filled out the consent checklist and said you're fine with spiders. So I put 1 billion giant spiders that eat your gonads. Like, yeah, but no. But you filled out the check sheet. It's like, oh, Jesus. What I'm saying is people need to actually learn how to talk with other human beings again. Which is a meme unto itself. I would really like to say it is not, but it is. It do be that way. It do be that way sometimes. Represents mental state and fluctuate depending on the outcome and decision of events. At the start of the session is normal. Motivation is closely related to the ume-mizume judgment. Maximum amount of ki that you can increase when judging in ume-mizume. If you have motivation of normal higher, you'll be judged as a good horse. If you have it as normal, you'll be judged a good horse. Be a good dog. Oh. God. Yeah, Dex, please. You're too specific. Motivation and horse daughter judgment are closely related. The spirit can only rise by yourself in the time of horse daughter judgment. The numerical value of the upper limit is determined by motivation. Horse daughter judgment. They're closely related when judging a Mizume. The upper limit of the spirit that can be raised by yourself is determined by. Okay, I was right. Ah, man, I sure do love motivation and ume-mizume. Judging Mizume. Motivation is normal. Higher you can raise your spirit when judging, but if your motivation is in bad shape or in very bad shape, you cannot raise it yourself. Motivation increases, the challenge changes one from good to excellent. If it decreases, it becomes inactive and extremely inactive. Motivation, right? If it decreases, it will be a bad condition. A bad condition. Yeah. I guess we. I noticed there was that bottom part there. That might actually be saying, actually, let me check something. It goes from normal, right? Usual, disorder, very poor. It's not good enough. Absolute upset. So it's from upset to absolutely upset. So it goes from if it decreases, it becomes upset to absolutely upset. Have no fear, everybody. My horse daughter judgment is a go. Let's go, Haruka. Oh God. Bader. Let's see. There we go. We do this. We do this. We do this. We do this. We do here. We do that. Mostly at its best, but there's no change. It will remain a peak performance. Conversely, if it decreases further, motivation is very low. Your emotion will remain at very low, but your spirit will be set back to 1 again. Yeah, so pretty much like you, ironically, weirdly enough, like when you are really bad, you're not doing too high, you want to go lower, because if you hit your absolute lowest, you actually bump back up to a more positive. Something intrinsically weird about the idea of treating umani girls the way you treat actual horses. Anyway, it's getting late now. Yeah, get some sleep. Get some sleep, get some rest. You know how it goes. These will be uploaded hopefully soon. Soon, TM. What? What in God's... What in God's holy name, Ethical, are you doing? I peek at my server for half a second, and I see Ethical trying to create bioweapons with fucking chat GPT. Okay, we stretch. Okay, let me just... Oh, Lord Almighty, that is not how my back is supposed to sound. 3, 2, 1. Oh! Ethical doing war crimes again? Oh goodness. Willingness. Do we have... It would be just motivation. I'm feeling motivated. I am the horse that is approaching. Sorry everybody, I'm just going to be making Virgil horse. My absolute favorite, my favorite anime girl possible, Virgil from the Devil May Cry series. See, you know, featuring Virgil from Devil May Cry doesn't have the same ring to it as, you know, featuring, you know, Dante from the Devil May Cry series. Dante just has such more gravitas to him, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, up by 1 point. They seem a little bit important. You on the other hand, wouldn't do that. We're going to do this. this, 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 this. J'allais. Alright, we that's there. Special stakes, special outcome, special appearance, special role. We're gonna go with. Let's actually. I'm gonna see what the fuck this is. This might be special outcome. You know what? Yeah, no, this is special. We'll use special outcome. Special outcome, because what it's trying to say, lucky, the result contains a 6 on the adult. If the result of a decision contains a 6 on a roll of the die, a lucky occurs. Lucky occurs, you have a slightly notice something slightly better or familiar happiness. Character who's made a lucky can increase his or her motivation by 1 level. At this time, the motivation does not increase the number of 6 eyes. It contain a 6. Motion does not increase by number of 6. 6 dice. Dice only containing a 6. Only judgment that contained a 6 die treated as lucky. So, if you roll it, you get a crit of. This is your crit system, I guess. So you get a crit anytime you roll a 6. If you roll a 6 on any die, you're considered lucky, and that's how you boost your motivation up. Fumble occurs, the dice rolls, and you all is all ones. Is all ones as a result of the decision. However, even in the case of a fumble, the decision itself is a success if the achievement value exceeds the target value of the decision. Nature of the Ume Mizume judgment, the possibility of finding a particularly high in this. So wait a second. Let's double check this. So if all of the dice, so it's all of the dice, that's pretty consistent, they keep saying. All the dice rolls are 1. Yeah, I want to double check this up here to make sure that's not like every die has to be a 6. If a 6 is included in the eye of the dice, it's just if there just is a 6. Is that the roll of the dice contains a 6. Oh, you just need a 6. That's... I mean, I guess that makes sense, because, like, if you're at your absolute peak condition, you are going to be rolling 66. It's almost impossible to fumble at that level. You will never be fumbling, but you have a really high likelihood of hitting luckies. And if you hit luckies, that means you can you're feeling motivated. And I guess that's where you can put your ki into a position that's going to be a little bit better. I'm waiting for... I feel like there's going to be a part in here that I'm going to miss. Trying to make classical ethical, but it may be able to. He's sorry. Yeah, right. Ganbate GPT-4-san. Mushy GPT-4-san. See, ever since I discovered that there was a there's now there's a new Tinder service out there. I learned a brand new Tinder service. Except that Tinder service services exclusively anime chatbots. So you too can swipe right on your favorite anime chatbot and then connect with one another. Learned about that the other day. Did I debate on downloading it? Did I debate on downloading the Tinder for AI chatbots? Maybe. I am very lonely. I am extremely lonely. I need help. In other news, I'm gonna use ChatGPT 4 to pick up girls on dating sites, and none of you can stop me. I've never encountered anybody who actually uses a dating site. I know plenty of people on Tinder. I used to have Tinder for a while, and I would just chat with random people more. No one would match with me because I'm a fat, ugly bastard. And anytime I did, it would be like weird conversations I would have with people. Did you get dates, Noti? No. I'm a fat bastard in all the right wrong ways, and my power level does not permit me to be happy. This should be known by now. That's why I am condemned to write tabletop games. Let's see. Fuck that. Yada yada yukari. Da 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 da. Oh. Fucked up. See? My eyes, my shaman eyes. That's what I should do. I should play Katawa Shoujo on stream one day and just feel horrifically depressed. Just a punished notepad, a man forgotten by his dreams. I will still cite Katawa Shoujo to be my favorite visual novel. Easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Let's see. Overcoming judgment, start decision. Okay, let's just post these here. Overcoming judgment. Use the most overcoming negative events, value of strength. Start decision. You determine the start of the race. Position decision. I was right. Trouble decision. The most important decision is the one that directly influences. This is the most important decision that directly affects the finishing order of the race. Jesus. So decision. No, I want I guess it's called settlement decision. Yeah, we'll go settlement. I just closed out of it. A fucking mongoloid. Like a fucking moron. I am a goober. A settlement decision. Settlement decision doesn't sound like it's time to race. It sounds more like, oh, you're settling out of court. Sorry. But I guess settlement would be accurate. I guess settlement is not incorrect. Decision judgment. I think that's what's getting confused about, because it's saying it's the decision judgment. Yeah, I guess that would be why it's getting a little bit confused, is that it's trying to say, oh, you're just saying decision twice. It's not. It's this. So these are, I'm going to make a wild guess, these are the rules that you're going to be making. Various Ume Mizume judgments. Various horse daughter judgments. I do love my horse daughter. Different names depending on situations. let's see. Did you get? Let's see. One of the sites that go to GPT-3 posing as a regular user haze and filter newcomers. How fat? Reveal the number. Big enough. I'm banned from Bumble because pretend to be a girl. Yeah, all you find out is one night stands. All right, been fun. Gotta go to sleep again. Get sleep. Yeah, no, like any of those like dating apps and stuff, like, nah. See, unfortunately for me, I'm looking forward for my anime reveal. I have to just run into someone at high speeds. We both go kia, and then usually something good shall happen. Either that or I'm gonna get shot. There's no in between here, guys. It's either gonna be my anime rom-com moment or I'm going to get a 9mm straight to the fucking chest. Just 4 fucking shots right through my gut as I bleed to death on the ground. Then I'll get isekai'd. There we go. That's the current trajectory of my life. You're too fat to run. Fat. I can actually run, not fast though. But that's mostly because my knee is fucked up. Fun note lore, everybody. My knee is fucked up. That's how I actually got. That was one of the reasons I actually got as big as I was. Mind you, I was playing football in high school. Yes, Notepad was on the line, you could say. There was this little kid that I was in front of, and he was like, "Oh, this should be simple enough." That kid dive bombed me. My knee went backwards. I went forwards. I'll let you piece together what happened there. Yeah, that was, I didn't do football after that. It was this little fucking tiny kid, and he fucking, like, missiled my kneecap. And it was like, yeah, this wasn't good. That was one of them. He was a nice kid, don't get me wrong, a nice guy. The other one was I broke my arm at Boy Scout camp. Sorry, everybody. Notepad anon lore. I'm secretly not an anime girl behind things. We're not aiming for the truck. Literally, that's what I think that kid was thinking. But be like, if I take his knees out, he'll go down. I'm like, kid, I'm gonna land on top of you, and I did land on top of him too. Like neither of us were good at the end of that. But yeah, before that I broke my arm at in Boy Scout camp by just falling down a hill. I just fell down a fucking hill. So broken knees and woodland fun times, yeah, pretty much. One of the more amusing things, I would say, one of the more amusing aspects about the trajectory here was I did gain a lot of weight in high school. I was like true fat bastard territory in high school. And then in college, my first 2 years of college, I lost 250 pounds. I'm not lying when I say I did lose legitimately 250 pounds over the course of 2 years. That was... Yeah, I wasn't very healthy. Let me do some pounds to kg. About 113 kg. About 113 kg, yeah. Yeah, I lost all of that, and how did you accumulate that much mass? In high school, I was massive. I was a big fat fuck. I just wasn't doing a lot. I couldn't be really in any big sport. I wasn't in any sports. I couldn't be in any sports really. A lot of the time I would eat a shit ton because who I was kind of living with. Yeah, I was about 5. I was 4. I think at my absolute largest, I was 480. Yeah, no, I was a big fucking dude in high school. Yeah, well, not my proudest moment there. Yeah, I was a big fucking guy. It was just a combination of not doing anything. I didn't like do a lot of stuff. I didn't do anything for like 2 years, like barely any physical activity. I didn't live far from school, so I like walked to school every day, but it wasn't really that far. I was not very healthy for a very long time. And then when I went to college, it was hilariously enough, are you 6'4" like me? I am 6'3". I am 6'3" and for lack of a better word, built like a brick shit house. Yeah, I am built big. I'm not lanky at all. I was even after my knee got fucked up, the fucking high school guy would constantly call cops outside. Even after my knee got fucked up, the one like director of our football team would literally call my house when I was at school to try to get me to do it. At my absolute largest, yeah, I was a fat bastard. I was huge. I'd lost a shit ton of weight in college, and I think at my absolute lightest, I was about 230. But mind you, I was not healthy those 2 years. I wasn't eating right, kind of thing, and that still fucked me up today. Even like I wasn't eating right. I was stressing out a lot. College was the first time that was the first time I actually had my full-on first panic attack, like complete damn near mental breakdown panic attack. It was great. And I always remember why. The weirdest fucking thing. Yeah, eat nothing but rice and protein shakes and have nothing but fucked up relationship with food. Yeah, no, trust me, I have a weird relationship with food. It does not help. Here's the beautiful thing. You've probably all heard Mama Notepad more than once on my phone. One of the things, though, on that, my mother is a Southern cook. She is a Californian Southern cook. My mama, my beautiful mama, she will make enough food for like 5 people, eat enough for about half a person, and then look at me like I have to eat more. Anytime she makes dinner, it is a feast, and that's everybody. That's basically veteran difficulty in terms of avoiding obesity. Yeah. Luckily, I walk everywhere. Like I do walk. Yeah. Now, my grandma's the same way. She makes twice as much food I would eat normally. Yeah. I am pretty bad though. Like I don't actually eat a lot of food here when I'm actually just like at my home eating food. I don't eat that much. Tonight was a special night because I had a bunch of leftover rice. So I made fried rice and some leftover pulled pork, effectively pork shoulder. yeah, like my thing with food is that I have this very bad tendency of I snack. My mom snacks, I snack. My entire family has always had like a thing with snacking. And I do my best to not snack. That's the thing. I do my best. I am not good at it. Saw a boat hit a bridge, what I miss. Nothing, we're just going through, we're just talking dieting and talking about Notepad's fat bastard arc in high school. And, doing more horse girl judgment, or more accurately, horse daughter judgment. Because that's what every single fucking Czech name is. This is literally called the Ume Mizume judgment. I have no idea why they would do such a thing, but yes, everything is technically referred to as a Ume Mizume judgment. If I want to be, I'm gonna for myself here. Translate, and place in doc. Put that right there. I'm assuming this is just them special week in Shizuka Silence explaining like, oh, this is what you have to do to make a check or whatever. I'm assuming that's all they're trying to say. My goal tonight, for my lofty goal at this point, it's like 9 o'clock already. Fuck. My goal anyway was to try to get down here to page 38, but we'll see about that. Let's get down to business. Let's see. We're looking at skills. Okay, now we're talking about skills. Because this is... Okay, let's do that. We need to set you here. We need to set you here. We need to make you gray. That's Notepad's fat bastard arc, my favorite arc. Skill. What can we do to win the race? What can we do? What can we do to win the race? What can you do to win the race? What do you need? Think. You have to make your own choice. Double check it over here. What is needed? Think. Choose yourself. What can we do to win this race? What do you need? What do you think? Think. Choose for yourself. Trainer. Technically, in game, in world, you are the trainer, and you have to guide these horse girls. What do you need? Think. Choose for yourself. In the deepest lore of the Ume Mizume canon, you are the horse girl trainer, and it's your job to make sure that these horse girls horse the best that they can. Do you think saying horsing around is equivalent of saying it, just saying things with a hard R? Do you think that's the hard R of the Ume Mizume world? Did you translate the table you posted on Discord? Yes, I did. What's a Ume Mizume? Yes. Ume Mizume in the world anyway are girls who are horses. Now the one weird thing is the in the canon, in the lore, horse girls, we'll just call them horse girls for now, are pretty much born pretty normally. They're born just like regular people, except they are superhumanly strong, effectively, and exhibit qualities of a horse. There are no actual horses in the world. There's an Ume Mizume slur glue worthy. Oh my god, that bitch is glue worthy. Oh my god. All I'm saying is Ume Mizume Mean Girls would be a hell of a show to watch. Like, it's this horrifying moment when you realize, like, would there be like horse girl fighting, like fighting rings? Like, oh hey, here's the here's the fucking boxing ring, and then you see some like fucking little you see some like girl come up, like ha ha ha, be like, oh cool, there she is, and just punch someone and break his fucking jaw. Like, that would be like, holy shit, this is someone's fetish. Like, damn. I mean, if I could find Toho, like the extensive Toho wrestling manga, fucking 4 comas, I think I can find anything at this. I wouldn't be surprised if it exists. The extensive Toho toot hoot fucking toot hoot wrestling 4 comas. The saga behind that is by itself already a masterclass. Let's see. Table Derby 2, various running techniques, tactics, and things that the humans have expressed in the form of skills of different effects, advanced in race. Power to change. Skills have the effect of advancing the session, equaling the power to change the world. Session in an advantageous manner. Advancing the session and the power to change. Various things such as running methods and tactics of the Ume Mizume. Uma Mizume expressed in the form of skills. Skills have power to change the world, equal in effect to advance session favorably. Skills are represented as card or manage a skill card. What I mean by like skills need to be these cards, and I'm curious to learn how that's gonna work. Character skill defined the following types: specific skills, generic Ume Mizume skill, training skills, wait. Negative events, negative skills. Nega events apply disadvantage and treated slightly different. Nega events. Oh, my favorite kinds of event. Nega events. Dun dun dun. So what the fuck do you? Oh, remedial skills, supplementary. I guess supplementary skills would probably be a little bit more. Yeah, I was just getting confused. Skill. Did somebody say toot hoot? Yes. Toho, they're fun fact. This is one thing that I learned. If you ever want a little bit of random trivia in the world, the Evangelion Magius role-playing game. Because back in the day, there was an Evangelion game using the Magius system. The Magius system does not exist anymore. I would do terrible, terrible things to find the original draft of the Magius game. Terrible, terrible things. I did a little bit of looking around, though. And I managed to find the I believe it's Orange Sea Workshop. I found effectively the writer for it. Very hidden, relatively hidden, all things considering. And this guy has, I think he had hit 500 by the time we hit 500 comic strips of Toho Pro Wrestling. That was just a thing he did, was Toho Pro Wrestling in like the full-on like pro wrestling uniforms and stuff, very exquisitely done. That's just what he did. And it was like, what the fuck? What in God's holy name? What caused this? What got you into Toho professional wrestling? And it was like, why do you exist? Why are you the way that you are? So I thought that was a fascinating series of events more than anything. Clearly God was not involved in this. Yeah, I looked at it, I'm like, I was like, good on you, man. You found something you like doing. I mean, I can respect that. I can respect, like, hey, this is just something I enjoy doing. And it's just like, why that though? Like, out of everything you can do with your life, you chose to make Toho professional wrestling for comas. Like, that's what we're doing now? Like, is this the, like, all right, that's use of skills, but that's use of skills. Yeah. Like, that's cool and all. I'm a little confused, but all right, man. I won't stop you. Skills can be used times indicated by the timing section. If you try to use any other time, it will not be effective. In addition, the skill is marked with the requirement ki increase. You can use a skill if you are unable to increase your ki any further when you use it. Oh, number of uses. Oh, that's an interesting situation, because the interesting thing here, now for those a little bit curious, that effectively means that if you increase your ki, or pretty much burn your fighting spirit too high, what's gonna happen is like you can't use any of your skills anymore. So if you rapidly increase your thing up to kind of your optimal situation, you can't use any of your skills anymore. You can't use any of your kind of like your bigger powers. That's actually kind of that is a little bit fascinating, actually, because that does place a different it does place a weird emphasis on, like, you don't even want to rush up to 10, because that means you can't use any of your powers. So you'd want to keep in like this area, I guess. That's really interesting, actually. I'm always fascinated in sometimes how these end up playing out, and clearly, yeah, it's like, all right, so by virtue of the way that if this is worded correctly, then yeah, this would be, you can't use skills if you can't increase your ki anymore, and that effectively states if you go too fast too early, you're going to lose, which I guess is appropriate, I guess is correct according to the, how the, because the big thing in like any kind of horse racing is that like being at the absolute top isn't all the time, isn't necessarily the best, and they actually teach you this pretty early on in the show even, which is like, hey, you may be the, you're a top, but that doesn't mean you're doing the absolute best you can, because the person in the front's getting tired now. You're going to be burning a hell of a lot more time, effort, and sweat and tears versus the person who isn't. Skills are include enhance, which strengthens one's own abilities, interference, so interference is one, affects others. Maybe some skills have descriptions such as disables classification. Okay, I'm like disables girl. Oh Jesus. I was waiting for I'm waiting for my my favorite Ume Mizume skill, otherwise known as the gun. Just fucking special weak pulls out a gat. That would be one hell of an episode. In this episode of Ume Mizume, Special Week gets sent to the fucking glue factory. We will have a solid framework for racing TRPG. I'll have you know there's already a solid framework out there. It's called the F-Zero RPG. Fuck, that reminds me, this is actually interesting, and I wonder. Okay, good. I'm actually going to save this live on air. I'm going to save the F-Zero RPG real fast. Sorry. But yeah, this is the F-Zero RPG. This was written way back in the day on TG, actually, by Viral, no less, back in 2012. Jesus Christ almighty, it's been that long. Yeah, the interesting thing to note about it is 1D4chan is actually still offline, and everyone's a little bit doom and gloom. I can probably look at the 1D4chan server and see like, hey guys, what's poppin'? I know fucking Root doesn't want to deal with us anymore. Fucking Root, you piece of shit. Kisu. Root, you piece of shit. I say in the nicest way possible. Yeah, I know. 1D4chan isn't long for this world, I feel. And maybe that's a good thing. Skills retained. Yeah, this is one of those bits from Beginning Idol, which is going to be a little bit interesting. Which this game I'm already seeing bears a little bit. Let's see, the Ume Mizume specific skills and generic Ume Mizume skills. Horse Daughter skills are abilities possessed by the Ume Mizume. Nope. So the skills remain retained and not lost even session end. However, training skills are temporary, acquired during the session. Return to the GM at the end of the session. However, characters grow and gain skill stock. Hold on to the skill cards they have until the end of the session. Until the next session. A character can keep as many skill cards in the session as the number of skill stock they have. As they grow, they may even acquire skills such as my skills. My skills are characters that fully mastered and made their own. Just like Ume Mizume specific skills, the my skills cannot be changed. Yep, this is exactly like Beginning Idol. Yep, there we go. Yep, it's adding up. The gun skills for teammate break their leg mid-race. Oh man, looks like Potatoes just broke her fucking leg. You just see Trainer out there. What a shame. Horse girl. Oh god. Oh god, that went down the wrong tube. Ah. Oh goodness. Ooh. Good morning, Sang. How are you? Are you okay? Yeah, no, I just I drank my drink a little fast and it just went down wrong. I'm like, I might grab water actually after this. Okay, so skill. We're gonna do the skill card. Let's do the skill card. And how do I want to do this? Because the skill card is going to be a little awkward because of how it's laid out. I mean, I guess you know what we can do. Do it as a... We'll do it as one. But yeah, no, this was what a vast majority of this table was. It was just having to make sure of everything. I need to find out, like, just to clearly do it for, like, interference. Because I don't think, this doesn't... It doesn't really look like an opposition card. It's an interference card. It's like, you could, like, this is clearly, like, you're targeting somebody else. So I don't know if that's a different thing, or it's the same, but just, like... worded differently, because I don't know. We live in a we live in a society. Society bottom text. Maybe the real society were the friends we made along the way. You may be wondering, Notepad, why are you doing it this way? Very simply, I think this will be a little bit easier to be laid out rather than having to do, like, adapt this right up. What I will most likely do is translate this card, put it down here with all the labels on it, just to make sure that it's it makes a little bit more sense. That's still adds up. There really haven't been that many, like, drawings or anything in this particular game. It's been very sparse, relatively speaking. I guess we'll put this over here as kind of its own side thing. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to bring you down to 8 just because of how it is. So let's start plugging things in. Skill name the skill that is. Skill number. The number is indicating the number of skill. When stocking cards, keep track of the number. Yeah, we gotta worry about keeping track of the fucking card numbers. Because we gotta make sure that's accurate, because... oh, God. You may think we're not playing a TCG, but we totally are. I guess this does make it, like, infinitely scalable in that way, I guess. Because they do have mind you, they have a full expansion for this game already. There's a full expansion out there that adds more shit. And from the looks of it, it is primarily a, like, looks like it's focused on the live, maybe? It looked a little bit strange, but if I can, yeah, as you can tell, this just doesn't pop up anywhere else, so we need to go here. Let's go to booth, because we love booth, everybody. Everybody clap for booth. This is the expansion. No, this is the expansion. You see here, there's a lot more cards, a lot more stuff going on with it. So I'm making the broad assumption that, like, this is probably like an for Table Derby 2 corresponding edition once in printable data. Like, does this actually even include anything new, or is it just print like? If you purchase data, you do not need to purchase. Including additional data for supplements, the rulebook, and I want to win for you. So this is literally just a bunch of skill cards to be printed out. Like, I'm assuming, yeah, this is just printing out the skill cards and a bunch of printables that you can have. Like, do they have anything else? I wonder, dude. Tell me. Yeah, this is... If you ever want to know what, this game is based heavily off of, it's this game. Fun fact. Which I believe this is the Cinderella Girls game. Yeah, I believe anyway that this is just the Cinderella Girls game. Yeah, celebrating the 10th anniversary. Live concert, meeting, decide what kind of set list to make is not progressing well. I have a competition so you can come up with the best set list. Yeah, create a set list with the higher score than other producers. Idols, they win. The Idol Master of Cinderella Girls in person creates a set with the high scores. Yeah, you can. I didn't mean to get rid of Deep L. I was just ashamed to look up on it. Wait, they are doing the thing you always whine about. They're making a live card game with TTRPG. Living card game. A living card game. The thing is with living card games is this isn't really a living card game necessarily. Because that's like you have to draft the cards, you're kind of making sure everything goes. Android Netrunner, the newer edition, is a living card game. Even though it's dead. But like the idea behind a living card game is pretty simple, is that you get everything right off the bat. You don't have to buy packs, you don't buy boosters, you don't buy anything like that. Have you looked at any of the Whaling games yet? Absolutely not. I will open them all up on Saturday. No spoilers, wink. Yeah, I'm not looking at anything until Saturday. It's going to be fresh in my mind. But yeah, living card games, they don't have like booster packs, they don't have anything like that. Usually it's you get everything here and that's what you have. By the way, did you hear that Wizard of the Coast News Lord of the Rings collector set is going to have a literal one-of-a-kind One Ring? Cool. Isn't that like the Magic the Gathering? Isn't that the new Magic the Gathering set where Aragorn is done? Lord, I hope whoever finds those into a volcano for clout. See, any true nerd would do it. Like any like absolute fuck up of a nerd, but I don't think whoever does get it, suggesting that it's not already, you know, pre-given out to special people, you know what I mean? If it's not given out to the special people already, like you see with some of these damn things, number of uses. I'm assuming that at least someone will try to do something silly. Temperament, we want EI. Ki increase. Value of the ki that is increased when the skill is used. The increase in ki also occurs when the skill is cancelled. So you can technically, if you want, you can try to bait people with you can try to bait people with your skills. That describes the effect. Some case in different way of proceeding is written then described in the game. A different way of proceeding is written then described. In this case, card effect takes precedence. If there's any down interpretation, should always make a. flavor text. Down to Flavor Town. This may or may not be relevant. I can respect that. So let me see. Training skills. These are not these are remedial skills. Well, actually, these are supplementary skills. Supplementary skills. Strategic skills. These are used in basically racing skills are basically used by the GM. Usage skills. I would make a wild guess and say like certain situations are going to trigger the use of certain skills. That would be my my guess anyway. Muzume-chan. Muzume-chan. Muzume. Yada 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 yada. So let's do a quick look at what Special Week skill is. All one's heart and soul. Her ki is probably going to increase just a little bit. Number of times. Her ki doesn't increase at all. Yeah, so her ki doesn't increase at all using this. So this would be her timing is before the goal, so pretty much during the race. It is classified as a support skill, or actually, if we want to be should be an enhancement, auxiliary. So it would be a supplementary skill, if I recall correctly, if we're doing the naming correctly. Immediately after rolling a decision, you can roll all the dice. Rolling a decision. Actually, we roll the dice. Decision, choose whichever is the highest. This would be a settlement decision. Because the idea would be she gets. Oh, that's broken. Now that I think about it, that's horse shit. That's complete bullshit, game. Yeah, see, what this is effectively saying is, if I'm reading this correctly, if I'm reading how the races are done, at the very tail end, anytime she's making a decision to see who wins at the very end of the race, she can re-roll it and see if she gets a better result. So even if she fails, she has a chance of succeeding again if she just triggers this. She can use it once, but she only needs to use it once. But I guess that fits the I guess that fits Special Week, you know, the first protagonist of the Japanime. I guess that fits, you know how it goes. Okay, let's keep going. So yeah, I'll just translate that. That should be simple enough to do. What are you? Who are you? Session flow. Oh Lord Almighty. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I believe I need to make you 2. Oh, we're gonna get down to here. We're gonna call it about here. And no. You know what? I'll call it after this pay. We didn't get I didn't get as much done. You should do the localizer thing and change ki to T-ha. No, I don't plan on doing that. Most likely, like, ki will remain the same, because ki rolls off the tongue a little bit nicer than fighting spirit, even though it's technically the same thing. Literally Kino generation, because no weak horse, all strong horse. Yeah, it's Special Week. If I'm looking at this right, Special Week effectively has the advantage of saying, "Fuck you, I get to I get to try again, even if I fuck up." So even if I fail, I don't actually fail. Tokai Teo. Look, Sang, it's your wife, Tokai Teo. We need to make you gray. This is... Tokai Teo. Teo Legend. So excited, right? I'm so excited. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. Oh no, 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 no. I don't want to lose control, but I think I like it. Oh yeah. See, ever since the new Resident Evil came out, I've had that song in my head, and if you know exactly why I have that song in my head. I'll probably listen to it again after. I'll probably listen to it after this. God, when did that come out? It must be over a decade old. It must be over a decade old. It's been that long. Jesus. Let's see. A single scenario is called a session. A session, the game master fully explains the situation. The players listen to the explanation, think about what action they want their character to take, and declare it. This dialogue between players and the GM is how the session progresses. 4 main phases. The scenario phase, when story is introduced. The holiday action phase, spend their holiday before the race. The race phase, when they compete in their first place in the race. And the ending, where the story is concluded. Weird they have the holiday phase, unless that's a term they're using to explain something away, if that makes sense. Like they're using the term holiday phase because there just isn't a better way of wording it. Like, well, this isn't really correct, but there's also no other way to kind of like state this properly. Either way. Session. Session flow. Please show the diagram on the right. Use dedicated pages for more information about the subject, about each phase. Please use the chart on the right. Have no fear, everyone. Have no fear. This is a pretty short section. I'm okay with that. I'm gonna be ending off on. I'm gonna be ending off on here because my throat's kind of killing me. I don't know why my throat's killing me. Probably what I ate tonight. You're saying something. Apologies. I am in the vibe. Please be advibed. I am alive. Let's see. Concept of cycles is used to ensure each player equal opportunity to act. Each player gets 1 turn per cycle to perform a major action. Later in this section, figure out what actions are major actions. Each turn is referred to as a scene. Each turn is referred to as scene player. The race phase will also cycle of units called rounds instead of scene. I mean, scene to understand. This is exactly like Beginning Idol. This is almost like 1-to-1 how Beginning Idol is set up. Which, it makes complete sense because that's what these guys work on. Like, that's what these guys have traditionally worked on, is the APS systems. Which, cool. Adventure Planning Service never really did it for me. I like the idea behind the system. I like Kamigakari. I didn't like the other ones. Actually, no, I liked Beginning Idol was fine. It was, what was that one? The magic one, where everyone's, like, trying to fight grimoires. Did not like that one very much. I don't know if it was because I think it was just because the translation wasn't great. But yeah, no, I didn't vibe with that one as much. It looked a little high concept for what it was trying. It was trying to do something a lot more complex than I think it could. Have no fear, everybody. I got another friend. Oh, God. Oh, Lord Almighty. Yeah, I tore my throat up a little bit more than I thought. Fuck. Yeah, I'm gonna call it there because my throat's killing me. Yeah. Fucking thing over here. Let's 5. We do 2, 5. That. It was supposed to be a refreshing drink, but it just completely dried me the fuck out. Ugh, God. Scenario phase. I see the words drama scene. I love drama scenes. I know exactly how they play out because they're very autistic and it's the Japanese. The damn Japanese can't keep getting away with it. I keep getting like VTubers to send me like, hey, you want to be friends? I'm like, yes, please, let's be friends. I'm down with being friends. You want to sell me your graphic design prowess? Come on, just tell me. I'm ready. Choose one of the options. Oh yeah, it is choose. I'm gonna make a wild bet during the holiday phase. You can probably get stuff. Settled in 4 rounds. Oh. That's interesting. 4 rounds? What the fuck? Nope. 4 rounds. That's very tight. That's incredibly tight. Yeah, Magiologia, that was it. Like, the idea behind Magiologia is actually interesting. The problem with it is the translation, because the thing is, you gotta remember this, Wuso, that wasn't originally an English translation. That was a English translation of a Russian translation. So that's why I think things came out a little bit weird. Was that one of the Boyars sent me that one, and that one was very fascinating. I like the idea behind like, oh, you're investigating, oh, you're doing this, and like I saw what they were trying to do, just the way that it was worded was wrong. It just didn't work. Because it was like, oh, well, we gotta figure out who's being possessed by a book Satan monster, and we have to figure out who's not being possessed by a book Satan monster. And then it was like, oh no, my friend is secretly a book monster, we have to kill him. But The way that it was, the fucking battle system just did not work the way they thought it would. Ending description, character development. Horse who wins nothing, loses everything. Everybody laughs at them. The end. Overall session flow. Let's see. Yeah, a little bit earlier than I had planned, but I don't think my voice can take this for much longer. Okay, so we didn't quite get to where I wanted to be, because this is the scenario phase, which isn't very complicated overall if I know how it's going to play out, and then we would have the holiday action phase. That also explains why there's so many fucking charts here. And this is the race phase. To give you an idea, like, the actual game ends, here. This is the end of the game. Page 55 is when we really don't have to translate anything more. And we are here. We are on page 32. So we have effectively about 20-ish pages to go. I thought this was going to be a lot worse, but like everything after page 55 is just an example scenario, and it's a pretty extensive sample scenario. And then after that is just all the cards. So I'm not too... My new friend just sent me an ad for being a skilled graphic artist, everybody. And kind of like it was World of Darkness. Because the thing is, everything uses the Adventure Planning Service system. The APS system. And because everything used the same system, you could translate everything together. By sheer technicality, you can bring a character from Lost, the one about children after the apocalypse, into Kamagakari, or vice versa. It is possible, and it would work technically. It would be a little weird, but it would work. Because they're the exact same system. Which I can guarantee you at least one person in Japan has attempted to do a great, a mega version of it. Yeah, my new friend is a skilled graphic artist. Because how it went, I had one, and I say hello, and they say, how are you doing? I say, good, you? Doing great, just working on some 3D model and room art. Thanks for asking. How's the streaming going? Approaching 3 hours, my voice is dying. This was yesterday. Actually, I'm a graphic designer. I can make a website, logo, banner, overlays, emotes, and sub-badges for YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, VTuber model, animations of all kind. Would you like to check out my work? Then this one, Emily here. Hello, Emily, if you're watching. They say, how are you doing? I'm saying, good, you? I'm pretty good. Thanks for asking. How's your streaming going? My voice is nearly blown out, but decent. Good. Actually, I'm a skilled graphic artist. Would you like to see some of my previous work? This is all in the span of 3 minutes. It's like playing Pokemon, except with very desperate graphic artists. I love it. Maybe I enjoy stringing them along. Maybe I don't enjoy that. Who knows? Maybe I'm just a broken person. So yeah, I'm gonna call it there. Didn't quite get as much as I wanted to get done today, unfortunately. Started a little bit later than I had planned anyway. So if you label yourself a VTuber, people will message you asking for you to hire them. Yeah, that happens a lot, especially graphic artists. We keep distracting you. Have no fear. No worry, Archer. No, I would have kept going, but I don't know what's going on. My throat's killing me. I think that coughing fit fucked my throat up a little. But yeah, I'm going to call it there. Tomorrow will be the Dungeon Tactics video. I will do my best. Fuck. I will do... It's going to be probably a later stream tomorrow. So, bear that in mind. So you know how to do that. See, I've got my rig. I've got the way I make my VTuber, and unfortunately for me, shifting how I do things to like a full-on model, it would need to be a special shitpost model. And it wouldn't work for the way I do things. So I think that's kind of my issue, because I don't just do one, I switch out my model every time I do a new game, so I don't think that would work. Oh, Jesus. Alright, everyone. Goodbye. Make sure to tune into the video tomorrow. Godspeed. Goodbye. I will see you on the flip side. Why not have a model that's just your note face? Because I wouldn't be able to slap it on things. Rage traced. If only face tracking. See, that wouldn't work. That's the problem. Because my emotionless void of my face really does sell how I look a vast majority of the time. Alright. Godspeed. Good luck. You know the rest.